Students of Success, Dr. Mike here. Are you living or are you just existing? Today I want to talk to you about life and how I see things every day. If we are just here to exist on this planet, or are we actually living? It all comes down to the power of belief. What we believe in is what's true. It's like a magical power. We see it so much, and we always tend in life to have a higher level of belief in the negative things in life than we do in the positive things in life. So if I was going to tell you that you had a disease and that you only had a certain amount of time to live, would you change the way you are living? Or would you continue to exist the exact same way that you are right now? Most people would probably say, well, I have a limited time. I need to go out and do this and this and this and this. Well, newsflash, we all have a disease. It's called life. And nobody has been able to beat this disease. At some point in time, we are all going to die. The question is that when you die, what regrets are you going to have because you lived a life of existence instead of actually lived out what you wanted to do? I mean, it's hard to get past because we've been conditioned so much on belief that there is only so much time in our life. We could be snuffed out in 2 minutes from now, a week. We don't know what's going to happen next time we get in a car, or next time we take an airplane flight. Just will you even wake up tomorrow? So basically, are you living or are you just existing? The day that you do die, and let's just say you're pulling in to heaven or wherever it is. I don't know what happens after that, but just play along with me here. And you're driving your car in. Is that car going to be shiny and bright with new tires on it and look perfect? And as you get out, you're waiting for your assignment? Or are you going to pull in with the wheels falling off, scratched up, dented, banged up, the front end's crashed, the rear view mirrors ripped off, the windshield's cracked, that you gave everything that you had in life? You had some ups, you had some downs, you had some disasters, you had some amazing accomplishments. So basically, the metaphor that is, when you are done with life, are you going to be so safe and so resolved that you just existed and you got to that point where you still have a brand new shiny car? Because you were always saving for that next day, that one that was off. You never knew when it was coming. But when it did come, you had a nice shiny car. You had all kind of money saved up in the bank. You had all these things that you can't take with you. Or you're going to pull in a car that is on fumes. That, like I said, there's no tread on the tires. They're falling off. Things are broken. Fenders are smashed. Windows are busted. And the rear view mirror is busted off. Because we were always looking forward to the next day. So what are some things we can do to help us start living that type of life? Well, the first one is we have to embrace the moment. Too many of us, and I'm just as guilty as anything, we always use that metaphor of the rear view mirror. We're trying to go forward, looking in the rear view mirror. How many people are actually present in their day? Present to the moment? Or are you always thinking about all of the things that happened in the past? So do we really, everybody's worried about, I need to learn this, I need to learn this, I need to learn this. Do you think maybe there are some things we need to unlearn that will help us move forward a little quicker than learning more things? The only way we can do that is being present in the moment. Stop for a second. Calm your mind down. Think about where you're at and think about the things that you need to do to get to where you want to get to. We always have to have a plan to move forward. But that past is always like grabbing a hold of us and pulling us back and pulling us back and pulling us back. So until you are present in the moment, which most of us are not, because with social media and everything, our minds are always flying, and sit down and try to sit there for a minute and to clear your head and just see black with your eyes closed, without things jumping in. It's extremely hard. You'll find that it's hard for 10 seconds to do it. But if you can train yourself over and over again to do this, try 10 seconds and 20 seconds to be present with the day. We also need to challenge our limitations. We set these limiting beliefs for ourselves because society sets them. Maybe our parents set them as kids. We feel like we're in a certain class, and that's like the limit. This is as high as we go. It's like I think Zig Ziglar talked about this, the flea in a jar. When you put the flea in the jar and you have a lid on it, it'll keep jumping until, hitting the top, until it understands where that top is. You said you could take that jar lid off, and that flea will not jump out, because it will only jump as high as where it thinks the lid was, and just short of it, and go back down, and jump that high. We get conditioned like that in life, where there's these limiting beliefs that we can only reach such potential, and then even though that it's unlimited potential based upon our new belief structure, we've got that so ingrained into us because we're not present in the moment of things that can move us forward. We're always thinking about the back, like the fleas were. They're thinking backwards, saying, that's the lid, that's as high as I can get. And how sad is that in life? To be able to only jump so high, even though that there's no lid on our lives, but because we have a belief system that is holding us back. We need to be able to also set clear intentions. You need to be able to visualize where you want to go. So when you do close your eyes, think about it. Think of something positive. Think about a place that you want to visit, a goal you want to achieve, a person you want to meet, an experience you want to have. Visualize it in your mind as though it is already happened. Feel those feelings of it, how you would feel in that moment. This is a future event. This is somewhere out here. We don't know when. It will happen whenever it is meant to happen. But think of that. If you want a certain vacation and it's to Hawaii, imagine that you're already there. Imagine that you're walking on the beach and how it feels and how that wind feels on your face. Think of all these things. And then, in your daily life, your present moment, every one of your actions will start to align with that vision. I mean, this is not magical stuff. This is not craziness. This is how your brain works, how your mindset works. Because it's hard for people to believe in this positive mindset that is pulling us forward, but they will believe in a second of all the bad things that happen in their lives and how it's dragging them backwards. That's easy to believe in. It's the things that, the positiveness moving us forward. So if you can see it, you can think it, you can feel it, you can touch it in your dreams. Everything that you do, every little piece of thing you write, and it'll be even subconsciously will start to move you in the direction of that. It's like a law. It will, but it will work in the reverse order as well. If you're thinking about negative things, every little intention, everything that you do during the day is going to keep pulling you back and pulling you back and pulling you back and getting you right into that road that's straightforward, that leads to someday I'll do this, and that someday never comes. And the reason I talk about this is because one of the biggest fears, an honest fear of mine in my life, is regrets. Am I going to be laying there on my deathbed, if I even have a bed, or if I'm somewhere, because I don't want to even imagine it, and I know I only have a little bit of time left, and I can't do anything else? How many things in my mind might say, man, I wish I would have traveled. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have talked to this person. I wish I would have taken this course, gone to that seminar, gone to that workshop, got that degree. All these types of things. And think about it. They're experiences. They're not material things. When you are laying there someday, you're not going to say, I wish I would have owned that big house. I wish I would have owned that car. I wish I would have had better clothes. That's not what it's going to be about. It's going to be about the experiences, the people you spent time with, things you said, the things you did or didn't do. All those things are going to creep in, and it's going to be like, I kind of compare it to how they talk about heaven and hell. Is there a place we go to when we die? I don't know. Nobody will ever know because you have to die to get there. But could we have a heaven or hell in our brain, in our mind? Most people are living in a hell in their mind because everything's bad. Everything's going downhill. You want to get into that heaven state where you're going towards something all the time. You need to be able to take action consistently. Consistent action every single day. And the best way to do this is to set that daily plan. You have to have some type of a system of habits that you do on a daily basis. You say, I like to do, every single morning, I do 1,000 push-ups. I do 10 sets of 100. I never miss. And trust me, about 80% of the time, I do not want to do it. But I do it because if I don't do it, then I'm going to have regrets. And just by pushing myself through that every single morning, it allows me to believe that if I can do these things, these especially physical things, that's why I would tell anybody to get into fitness, because there's two results. The result is you're going to be healthier and you're going to probably live longer. But the other one is that it teaches you a discipline, because it's just you versus you when it comes to your body. Nobody else. And the biggest opponent that we have in life is right up here. This is what destroys most people's dreams. It's not all this external stuff, because if in here it's all set right, we can change this. The problem is that everybody is focusing on all this, and then they bring all that negativity into their brain. Having the right mindset is what is going to allow you to achieve your goals. And when you can accomplish these little things every day, these routines, these physical activities of working out, of walking, of doing different things like that, then it gives you that ability and that confidence that, boy, if I could do 1,000 push-ups every morning, surely I could sit down for 30 minutes and read a book. Surely I could do this, or I could do that, because I pushed myself through that pain barrier. Because most people get to a pain spot and they quit. So we have to be able to take consistent action. And it doesn't have to be, most people, whenever they're trying to get in shape or do anything, they want to jump from this point to this point in one day. That's why most people, their New Year's resolutions fail within the first week or two, because they are trying to make a jump that is so large they don't realize that success is not a jump. Success is little tiny steps every morning. You do not get fat and out of shape by eating 1 or 2 slices of pizza. You get fat by eating 1 or 2 slices of pizza every single day for 10 years. You don't get in shape by going out and walking 5 miles. You get in shape by walking between 2 and 5 miles every single day. And the littler, the smaller the incremental intentions, the lot harder it is to just wipe those away. Big, huge jumps can end up in big, huge falls. And it's about our mind. And the last one, I do this every morning for at least 20 minutes when I get up in my chair, is to practice gratitude and mindfulness. Be grateful. Imagine in your head if you couldn't walk, or if you couldn't see, or if you were in a wheelchair, or if you didn't have the arms and legs to be able to do things. That's why whenever you do work out and you do walk, be grateful. We take everything for just for granted, because it's not going to, there's the only guarantee in life is obviously taxes, which we just paid, in death. We're all going to die at some point in time. What story are you going to tell? When you die, are people going to be like, I remember these things that this guy had. They're not going to say, I remembered his house and his car and his bank account and all this material stuff, because as soon as you die, a neighbor down the road here died a couple weeks ago. The family's already swooped in and things are flying out of that place. Material stuff is useless. It's useless. Is it nice to have good things? And yes, of course it is. But it's a lot better to take that money, take that finance that you have, and invest it in you, invest it in travel, invest it in experiences, because that travel and that experience and those different things that you do helps your mindset. It helps you be able to grow and helps your belief system. And when you can start believing in yourself, you will start living and not simply existing. Because everybody's existence comes to an end. But our life and what we do could live on forever in the memories of other people. So there are only so many days left, guys. Only so many. And we're not able to number them, but there is a number up there. I want you to sit down after this video or tomorrow morning, whenever you get up, and just think, if I was to die today, and I had 10 minutes to think about it, what are all of the regrets that I'm going to have? Because I was just living an existence, a day-to-day existence on the old. Nobody says you have to do this. There is no written down rules for life that say you have to go get a certain job, you got to do this, you got to save for the future. You have to be able to use your own mind and not give a damn what anybody else says or thinks. Because trust me, there is nobody on this planet that is any smarter than you, that knows more about the brain and about you than you do. There are people that act like they do, but as soon as you turn around, if you can see behind the scenes of their life, that it's a wreck. We all have the same wind blowing on us. It's just who is setting the best sail. There will be rough times, but take that road to the right, because that's where the gold is. Until next time, guys, live the best life you can and live today to the very maximum, because there's only so many times left. Take care.